I think we are done with the course outcomes. We are done with the grading and scaling part. Now we'll move to the next topic, rubrics. So what are rubrics exactly? So rubrics are advanced grading methods which are used for criteria-based assessment. Let's say you have an assignment and you tell the user or the student that okay, this is all that is expected out of this assignment, and if you are submitting a certain criteria, then these marks will be allotted. If those criteria are missed out and you have submitted only half of the criteria, then these marks are allotted. So something like that. It's kind of a plan. It's an advanced grading method which can be used for our assessment. And let me show you a small rubric. Okay, as you can see in the teacher's window, we have a sample rubric. And on the left hand side, the first column, you see the different criteria. The first criteria is that I'm going to check the structure of my program. And then I'll be checking the logic of my program, and finally the quality of the snapshot what they have given me. So that's what I'm going to check. So initially under the structure category, we have three different levels. One is best, good, and poor. And you can read the statements here. If the program is properly intended, clean presentation is given, and if it is fully commented, then I'll give him 10 marks. If not, I'll give him 5 marks. If not, nothing is there, I'll just give him 0 marks. So we have three different criteria. So the total marks that is given for this rubric is 30, and the 30 marks are split according to the levels that the students obtain. Now, how to assign these rubrics into the courses or the activities that we have already created? Let's check on that. We'll move to the teachers window now. Now let's see how to create a rubric and assign it to one of the activities or even the course itself. So for that, let's create a new assignment, an activity. Okay, we'll go for add, and let's call this as assignment 4. And the assignment statement is as follows: create a web page to display a table. So this is just a sample assignment. Submit, or I'll ask them to upload it, upload the code. Yeah, okay. So just display it in the description page. And these options are already explored, so let's skip those things. We will have it as just one file, and the size of the file should be maximum 1 MB. Now moving to the grading part. So I want to have it as a scale. So let me select the scale that has been created before, the demo scale 2. Now this is where we exactly create a rubric. So we have three options to the grading method. One is simple direct grading, marking, guide, and rubric. So let's create a rubric here. So I'll select the rubric, and all the other options are not of use for us, but it's already been explored. Now once you select this rubric and you go for save and display, it will take you to the rubric menu. As you can see, this can also be accessed under this advanced grading menu of your assignment that I'll show you later. So as of now, we are yet to complete this assignment. So we will define this. We have two options here. One is define a new rubric from the scratch, or you can get some rubric from the default template that is available. But as of now, we don't have any default template available for the whole LMS. That has to be created by the administrator. So we will go with the first option, define new grading from the scratch. Let me select this. I can give a name for this rubric. So let's call this as demo rubric. And we'll just write some description. This rubric is for programming. Okay. And then this is the place where we are supposed to enter our rubric contents. So let me click the first option that enables me to enter the criteria. As I've told you before, I've shown you a window where I have shown an example rubric. I have three different criterions. So the first one is structure, second one is logic, and third one is snapshot. So let me enter the first criterion structure, and I have three levels. One level shows that the student's work is best, and second one is good, and third one is poor. So let me write the level statements here. So let me do it really fast. And the points given to this statement is 10 points. The second level, and this is 5 points. And the third level, so this is 0 points. Now let me add my second criteria, that's the logic. So likewise, I keep on adding all the levels. I'll add my third criterion, that is the snapshot of my program. That's how. Yeah. So we have three different criterions here. One is structure, logic, and snapshot. And further criterions can be added, as well as the different levels can be increased. Now, if you see the first option given here, sort order for levels, we have two options here. One is descending and ascending by number of points. So when I select this descending, the rubric will be shown in such a way that the highest point will be shown first, followed by all the other lower points. So when you select the other one, the alternate one, ascending, it will show you the least value first, followed by the greater value. So I prefer doing it in the descending order. So I give it like this. And the first option here, calculate grade based on the rubric having a minimum score of 0. So if this is enabled, then the rubric won't allow your students to get a grade 0. So it means that the student should be competent enough to score something more than 0. So I don't want that to happen, so I just deselect it. So it means that my students can even have a point 0. So that's the idea here. And all the other points are just self-explanatory. You can just go through it. Now you can go for this option, save rubric, and make it ready. So as you can see, we don't have any submissions yet. I just want to make one more change with my assignment. Since I have one of the criteria as a snapshot in my rubric, I just want to update the assignment statement, upload the code, as well as the output snapshot. Yeah, and save and display. So the assignment is created. Now we'll move to the students window and check how the assignment looks like, and let's submit the assignment. Now I am in my students window. So let me go to the first one. Here is my assignment code. Let me click it. So it says, okay, it's not been updated. And you can see a modification that has been done here. Last time we didn't have this grading criteria, but this time we have a grading criteria. So the students will be well aware of the fact that they have three different criterions that is used for assessment here. The first one says that if the structure of the program is properly indented and fully commented, they will be getting 10 points, or else they'll be getting 5, or nothing happens here, they'll get 0. And the same thing goes for other two criterions also. So let's go for one of the submissions. So I have to submit one file. I given the limitation as 1. So let's submit one file here. Okay. Okay, it's graded now. Okay, it's submitted. Now the student has to wait for the teacher to grade his assignment. So we will move to the teacher's part or teacher's window and start grading his assignment. So if we refresh it, we can see that one student has submitted it. So let's go for the submission. They can see the menu, the status saying that submitted for grading. So let's start grading it. They can see the change, or you can see the rubrics here that has been included now. So we have three criterion. It's not really difficult for us, just we are supposed to click the exact cell which matches the student's work. So let's say I'm focusing, I have already read this assignment and I'm fully okay with the first option. His program is fully structured and it is properly commented. I'm just going to click this. So you can see it has been turned to green. And logic wise, I see that his logic is not fully proper, so somewhat okay. So I just select the second one. And the final snapshot that follows all the requirements. So I just select the third one. And if you want, you can just write your comments here on this fourth column, which will be displayed for the students once he sees your gradebook. And this option or the last column gives comments for the students, overall comments. I'm not going to give him any comments here. I'm just going to save this changes and notify it to the student. So it is done. Let's go to the main page. Let's go to the students window now to check this grading. So I'll refresh it and I can see the grading status is graded. Here you can see its feedback. Like this is how I have selected as a teacher. So for the structure of this program, I have given him 10 points, and for the logic, 5 points. If at all I find or I want to give some comments what's wrong with this logic, I could have written it here, but unfortunately it's not there. Anyhow, it's understood. And you can see the grade here. So this grade is given as A. It means that if you calculate its total points, that is 25 out of 30. So 25 out of 30 lies under the grade category called as A. And hope you remember the initial segment of this session. I showed you the letters that are given for the grading part. You can see here. Sorry, we have to move to the features window not to see that. Okay. So as you click this grade here and the letters option, so A comes under category 93 to 100%. So he has got around 25 out of 30. So that comes under this category. That's why he has received a letter called as A. And if you want, you can customize this. So hope it is understood. The topics which we have covered in this session are how to create grades and how to use scales. Then we went on to how to use rubrics and outcomes. I hope it is useful. Try working on this. If you have any queries, please do email us. We'll be happy to help you. Thank you.